Hey y'all, and welcome to Lum Life Art. I'm Nikki, and here goes nothing. So, if you're new to my channel, I usually do videos of arts, crafts, DIY projects, maybe things I have going on in my e-commerce stores. But I also like to share traveling and hiking videos and things like that. Normally, if a hike isn't so exciting or isn't up to par or maybe is a failure, I usually don't post it. I only like to post the good stuff. But I thought it would be helpful maybe to somebody, or maybe I could just be real with y'all after a hiking incident that I just had. So, let me get pretty much to the meat and potatoes, and bear with me because I'm not feeling good. I did film a video before this, but it was just absolute ADD word vomit. Like, it was just so emotional and so many things going on. I thought I'd just start over. So, again, here goes nothing, y'all. So, again, I've been hiking, for years, just doing some basic stuff, and I decided to start pushing my limits and doing winter hiking. I wanted to do winter hiking so I could extend my hiking season, so I could hike year round if I wanted to. So I started seeking out different mountains, and uh, yesterday, okay, so it was yesterday, I decided for my Christmas present I was going to take myself to New Hampshire and try out one of the White Mountains. I believe the name of it was called Old Haystack Mountain. So it was kind of in the middle, like not too short, not too tall, um, but still hard just the same. And after a previous bad experience, I decided to get more prepared. So I did some homework and I got a hiking pole and I got new boots and I got a new backpack and I got all this stuff. And even the night before, I decided to go out last minute and I couldn't find ice cleats, but I found ice trek. I don't know what the hell they were. They were basically useless. I'll tell you that right now. Spoiler alert: they were useless. So, um, I took off. I left first thing in the morning. Left early. You know what I mean? The sun was still down. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I drove up there. I was aware that a morning snowstorm was gonna start and that it was gonna stop pretty much immediately by the time I got up there. You know what I mean? No big deal. A dusting to an inch of snow. I kept checking the weather, checking this and that and the other. As usual, an inch was about 6 inches to a foot of snow by the time I got up there. Right away, my car was stuck in the snow. I just stuffed my car into the snow up in the parking lot. If you even want to call it a parking lot, because you couldn't even tell it was a parking lot. Again, I don't want to go off the rails. We're already going too far. So yeah, I thought I planned well. I had my snowsuit and my jacket and my layers and all my stuff and everything was packed up neat in my bag and yada yada, and I was ready to go. Um, I headed off on the trails and I took the pictures of the map and I downloaded the map and I did all these things. Um, I didn't know right away that I had no signal whatsoever, which again, as y'all would know, that happens. I'm still new and I'm aware of it happening. I just didn't know what would happen the minute I got up to the mountain. Like, I didn't even, I'm pretty sure right outside of the parking lot is when I lost service. So I had nothing. Although I downloaded my maps, it wasn't, my phone was dying rapidly because of the cold. Like, there was a lot of things I just underestimated. Let me tell you that right now. So, FYI, electronics die fast in the cold. I knew that, but I did not apply that to this situation. So keep your electronics warm or safe or off or something until you need them. So all that was useless. Obviously the trail was snowed all over, so it was hard to tell where you were going. I just followed the footsteps. Um, those wonderful tracks that I got, mind you, like I said, I just got them last minute. I didn't do the research. I thought they were better than having just the plain boots that I got. I got them at Job Lot for like $6. They slipped on your shoe. They had these little tiny screws in them. I even brought extra screws with me and a screwdriver so I could put them in my boots at the top. I was maybe a few feet from the entrance when I think the first one slipped off and I didn't even notice. It wasn't till later on when the second one slipped off and my shoe was flapping. 'Cause I thought it was the snow thing, and it wasn't. It was my not only had the tracks fallen off, but my shoe was now coming apart. So thank you, LL Bean, for your wonderful gear. Because let me tell you, LL Bean makes gear for like soccer moms that want to go out on a no offense to, you know what I mean, but like you want to go walk your dog on a trail that's maybe like a mile or 2 mile long. They are not meant for hiking in mountains. Everything that I've heard about their gear so far, and from me testing it, I wouldn't go with LL Bean if you plan on going on like some big hiking. Anyway, so yeah, right off the entrance, those fell off. Like I said, I had no signal. I lost my snow tracks. I had this cute. My boyfriend had gotten me the hiking stick. I probably should have had two. I thought one because I never bring one with me unless it's wood. I got that hiking stick that screws in and it collapses and it can go in your backpack and you pull it out when you need it. And it had all the little attachments on it for ice and all that stuff. As much as I had tightened that thing, every time I put my weight on it, the thing would collapse. And a couple times it caused me to collapse face first into the snow. So that happened a few times. However, my stick was very useful on certain parts where I would use it as like an ice pick. I would use it to chisel ice off of rocks so I could get a nice rough surface to get a step onto. A couple of the spots that I was at took me at least a half hour to pass. And normally I don't recommend going off trail. You should never really go off a trail, especially if you're new. But a couple times I had to go off the trail to find a safer way to pass. And sometimes it was so frustrating because I could see that the people before me had passed. It was fresh footprints, but I didn't know how they did it. And it would take me forever. I would have to climb. I would climb up and I'd slide down and I'd fall. I have nobody to help me. I'm only 5 feet freaking tall. I weigh a lot. I really do. I'm a solid 5 foot tall. And of course, you're talking about 40 pounds in your backpack and I don't know how many pounds worth of clothes. So it was very tough. I don't know how many times I fell. And just falling along the path. It wasn't even on the tough spots. Like you fall so much. Like hiking in the winter is a completely different beast than in the summer or spring or fall or anything else. I just like it because it's quiet and there's no bugs. There's like no animals until nighttime. Like you don't have to deal with nothing. You get beautiful views. It's nice. So um, anyway, I accounted for the time. I had done the math and I'd done the research and this, that, and the other, and I figured it would take me about 4 hours to get to the top, which was a decent amount of time given my experience. And then I'd have 4 hours to the bottom and I would beat the sun because, as you know, in the wintertime you only have so much sunrise and you do not want to be in the woods in the pitch black. It sucks. So 4 hours in, and I had made a promise to myself because I've run into a similar situation. I don't know my own boundaries sometimes, but I made a promise to myself. If 4 hours in, if I wasn't halfway up, I'd have to turn around and come back down. If I was halfway, then I would continue and finish my journey, yada yada. 4 hours up, and I was having trouble breathing. I was definitely sore, and I was maybe a quarter of the way up as far as I knew because all my maps, everything was down. Nothing was really working. I didn't want to risk the battery on my phone. So I had to turn around and go back after all that hard work, all that hiking. When oh, another thing too. Um, I don't have my lingo down, so I apologize, but I was doing, I believe what I call was bushwhacking because I didn't have the proper gear. I was using bushes and trees to climb up along the way and help me get up. Something I didn't think about, duh, when you grab onto those trees, what happens? You have an avalanche of snow that comes down on you. So my stupid blonde behind would grab onto these trees looking for support and I would just pull down snow on me. And usually my hood was off because I was getting hot and moving and all that stuff. So FYI, either A, don't do that or don't do it with your hood off because all it did was fill up my suit and everything. I was covered in snow. I was freezing. I was wet. Anyway, on the way down, I turn around, I'm coming down, and I had this really sketchy part near a waterfall where the trail comes down and it makes this hard corner and then it goes down a hill. I was coming down, I slipped off a rock or an icy patch, and I slid off the trail, off of a cliff, and into what would have been a river, but it was frozen from like where the waterfall goes down into the river. there was still running water underneath it, but it was so frozen that you couldn't even tell it was really a river other than if you knew where you were. I fell onto that. Luckily, all I did was get a little bump that could have been so much worse, and it was only maybe a 10-foot drop. Some people have fallen like huge, but I had no grip. I had nothing. I had nothing to stop me. Um, I lost everything on that fall. Well, I don't want to say everything. I'm sorry. I didn't lose everything. I lost a lot of my stuff on that slip and fall. I lost my pole. I lost my gloves, my hat, my bandana. I had pepper spray that was in my purse, my not my purse, my backpack, like attached to me right here. Pretty much anything that wasn't clipped on or wasn't in zipped up in a pocket was gone. I'm so glad I had my phone and my keys and all that stuff, but everything was just wait. It looked like I littered the trail, and I didn't mean that, obviously. And I couldn't retrieve it. I couldn't climb back up there. That was the worst part too, is that I couldn't climb back up from where I fell, and now I was on a frozen river. So I had to walk down the frozen river to get onto a different part of the trail to get back to safety. And I looked like an absolute mess when I got back. Like, my hair was frozen dreads. It was sweating and matting and freezing and sweating and matting and freezing. That it was just everywhere. My face was a mess. Like I said, I lost my gloves and my hat. All those things were gone. Um, I luckily there was some, like, I remembered an extra pair of clothes in my car. Like, I did everything right as far as leaving stuff in my car. I had warm clothes, shoes, everything. I forgot to bring like a dry hoodie or a dry coat because all my stuff was soaked. Everything was soaked. The smartest thing that I probably did, and I only did this from, again, my grandmother taught me when I was little, and I've done it my whole life, was bag my feet. I don't know if any of you hikers do it. I don't know if anybody does it out there, but from when I was younger, I never had the proper equipment, the proper shoes, the proper boots. So anytime that I had to walk in wet weather to work, to school, whatever, it didn't matter if I was hiking, I would put bags over. I would do 2 pairs of socks, a liner sock, a thick sock. You put bags over your feet, you put them in your boots. You can also just bag up the whole boot, but chances are it's going to rip right through within minutes because your treads and stuff. But if you do that, it will save you a bunch, because I'll tell you right now, those LL Bean shoes, again, that are supposed to be waterproof or water resistant, were not. They were soaked inside and out. Everything was soaked. My snowsuit, my clothes, everything was soaked and frozen. Like, it was just a mess. And I could have actually not come home to my family for Christmas. Or maybe not in one piece, at least, because nobody knew. They knew where I was going, but they didn't know where I was. They didn't know where to find me. When I looked back on my footage and on my trail and on my map, I wasn't even on the right trail. I'm pretty sure that I had actually made it to the top of the mountain that I was looking for. But because I didn't read the sign right, or I didn't read whatever right, I actually started going up a different mountain, which is why it was also taking forever. So a lot of things went wrong. I learned a lot of lessons. And one of them being that I probably won't be doing winter hiking, at least until I get some more experience or more equipment, or honestly, it just might not be worth the risk. For some people, it is just not, and it's very important to know your boundaries. Listen to your body, listen to, like, it killed my pride to have to turn around, and I didn't know that had I kept going on the right trail, I would have circled back around in my car. I wouldn't even have to come back down. Um, but I'm glad that I know my boundaries. I'm glad that I turned around when I did. You know what I mean? A lot of good things did happen. I did learn some lessons. I was able to clear obstacles that I didn't think that I could by pushing myself. But I also put myself in a dangerous situation where I could have not come home. I could have needed rescuing, which would have put other people's lives in danger. So just know your boundaries. You know what I mean? Listen to people. If somebody says you're not prepared, you're probably not prepared. Like, don't take it as an ego thing. It's just they're more experienced. Um, and even worse, I'm not fit. I was modeling last year. I was in shape. I'm not so much in shape. I've been sick all the time. I just got out of the hospital like 3 or 4 days ago. I did not belong hiking. You know what I mean? I'm not in the best of shape. I'm always sick. I've always got something going on. Like, I really should have taken a lot of things into consideration and not be so impulsive. But yeah, I didn't mean to put such a serious video out, but I thought it'd be very important, especially for those who might be new to hiking or traveling or just life experiences in general. just listen and know when to fold them and all that. And I'll still probably include some of my footage because you're going to see in the beginning I was, bundled up and I was happy and I was excited and nervous and like, oh, look at this mountain I'm about to go on and I'm in New Hampshire and Merry Christmas, y'all. And then if you would have seen the video, maybe I'll put it out somewhere in the future. But the video that I put out right after that, I was disheveled. I had to wait till like about a half hour from the mountain for my phone to charge to even make a video. So I was driving home and I was just like, just a mess. I was an absolute mess. Um yeah, I need to get I need to stay away from the snow for a little while or be smart about it or something. Wait till spring and come out like the bears do or something. But yeah, I just want to put this video out there. I just want to have a little rawness, a little honesty, and just like not everything is all sunshine and rainbows. You know what I mean? I'm not always traveling and having a great time. Not all my trips are successful. And sometimes I do some really stupid, impulsive things that I shouldn't do. So, bear with me, y'all. And thank you again for watching and staying in there and watching my ups and my downs and my journeys as I go through them. This year has been a crazy journey. There's been so many growths. There's been so many things that have happened that I can't even believe. And I would like to live longer so I can continue to have those experiences and be able to share with y'all. And I also wanted to share because in recent light there's been a lot of accidents and mishaps and missing hikers and all these things that have happened because experienced hikers and inexperienced hikers have just been going at it and not knowing and being naive and there's some things that you just can't plan for. I mean, you can plan for all these things and you think you got it down, but some things are going to happen. Avalanches happen, falls happen, weather changes, things happen all the time, so you have to take it serious. And I'll tell you right now, that mountain did not want me at all. So maybe in the future, I will attack it again. I plan on going back to a few of these that have tried to chew me up. But yeah, just I will let you know and I'll keep you posted along the way. More things to come, more to share. But I just wanted to reach out to y'all, let you know that I'm alive, all is well. I'm just under the weather and doing stupid stuff. So hang in there with me, y'all. Thank you again for following, for watching, for being on my journey. Here goes nothing for the new year, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to y'all if y'all don't see me, okay? Bye. Hey y'all, it's Nikki from Lum Life Art, and Merry Christmas Eve to y'all, or Merry Christmas depending on when you're watching this. As usual, I am doing the crazy. I am up in New Hampshire in the White Mountains. I forgot what the name of this mountain is, but I am about to go hike it. It's somewhere back there in the clouds. So, wish me luck. I will show you progress along my journey. I have no idea how this is going to go or whether or not I am prepared. As you can see, there's a lot of snow right now and it's still snowing. So, here goes nothing, y'all. Merry Christmas. Wish me the best, and here's to a new year. Bye.